Hey, it's me, Monte. It's Wednesday. It's the 1st of March and we are after school. I wasn't going to film today, but I have some time before I have to go. So I decided just to go over what we did today. It is the 1st of March, and so I have to come up with a March craft that we're going to do so I can replace my cups full of kindness and our hearts that we did. I'm gonna go hit up the Dollar Tree and see if they have anything with shamrocks on it. They had eggs for Easter, so I have that, and so I'm gonna do like the spring chicken kind of thing, and those are their spring eggs, so that way it's not Easter but spring. So we're going to do that for April, but I need something for March. And so I was looking through TPT, always looking for the free things, and I printed some things I have to grab from the copy machine. What did we do today? Today was Fly Guy Day, I guess I'm gonna call it. The reason why I called it Fly Guy Day was because I had all my fly guys out, and in the morning I read one, and then after math I read another one. And then when we came back in from recess, I read another one. And then right before lunch, I read another one. And then after lunch, I read another one. And then before we went home, I read another one. So I read not all of them, but I read 6 Fly Guys today. So we just called it Fly Guy Day. During our first Fly Guy, we did a beginning, middle, end. I'll link this below because it doesn't say a name on it. But we just picked the first one. I didn't read High Fly Guy because that's going to be inside their Wonders book, and so I don't want to do that one, so I read all the other ones. So we did, I think the first one I did was Fly High Fly Guy, and so then we wrote down our beginning, middle, end, and then that was our comprehension skill that we did with it. And then for their craft, this is from the pond, and that's Fly Guy. And then I traced their hands on brown paper and they used that as their wings. And so they put that together, I guess all day long, I could say. So we started it before recess, and then when we did ST Math, they could finish it. And then when we were doing at the end of the day, they did Alexia, they could finish it. So I gave them probably 40 minutes altogether to finish, but I gave them probably 15. And then, you know, as the time went, there were few kids that needed the time at the end, but they used it. But that was what they went home with today, was Fly Guy with their hands as the wings. And so that was why I called it Fly Guy Day, because everything was Fly Guy. I did have them take, if they wanted, before they did ST Math, the Fly Guy that we read, I said if you wanted to take AR test on it, you can. And then they had time during ST Math time. And then at the end of the day with the last Fly Guy I read during Lexia time, I told them if they wanted to take an AR test, they could. And so some students took multiple AR tests today. So not only in the morning, but also on 2 Fly Guys. And so they were working for their candy. I'm not pushing it. I will push it once we take the star reading test. So once we take our star reading test and everyone has a ZPD, or whoever has a ZPD, they will have their goals and they will have to meet them as part of their, I guess we'll say, grade in class. And what I did do was, well, let me show you. This is Sign Up Genius. I use this, it's free. This is how parents sign up for conferences also. So you put in the times and the days, and then they get to select and write their name. I don't send out papers anymore for conferences. This is how I do it. This is for the 120th day of school. One of the activities that is, I guess, popular, we can say, is you make like a little trail mix. And so that's what we're going to do. So I'm asking for the ingredients, I said, for the trail mix. 120th day of school's next week. So we have different kinds of cereal, popcorn, M&Ms, Fruit Loops, marshmallows, chocolate chips, anything small, mini Oreos. And so I'm hoping parents will sign up so we can do that, so I don't have to buy it all. So next week, when we get closer, it's the 6th, let's do on Monday. The 7th is our 120th day of school. I already have friends. You can see one of the green things back there. They brought their little counting thing already. I had 4 of them turn it in today. And so then we are going to, with our snacks, they are going to get a piece of paper that has 12 circles on it. Or actually, no, it's a 10 frame. I have it somewhere. It's like a 10 frame small ones, and they have 12 of them, and then they count 10 M&Ms and they put it there, and they can't count 10 marshmallows and they put it in that one. So each snack, they get 10 of them and they count them. So they'll have 120 things total, and then we'll put them in a baggie, and then they'll go home with a little snack mix, what they made of everything that everybody bought. So hopefully parents sign up. They have a couple of days. I kind of did it late because in my head, it wasn't this soon, but then I looked on the calendar and I looked at the things that the kids turned in, and it was kind of like, hey, that's next week, that's Tuesday. So not even a week. So hopefully I get people that sign up. I have other activities probably on Friday. I'll make all my copies and I'll show you on Friday of what we're doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. It did rain today for like a little bit. And when it rained after lunch. And so we had already gone out for our time, but it didn't rain, it hailed. And one of my kids came in, it was raining hard. And so one of my kids came in from the bathroom and he was like, it's snowing outside. And so I knew it wasn't snowing, I wish. And so then he came and brought what didn't melt of the hail. And I go, oh, that's hail. And so I told them all to get up, and we all went outside, and I let them grab the hail, and they were making snowballs out of it. No matter how much I told them it was not snow, they were like, it's snowing. I let the first graders be happy. And so I collected some of it and I brought it inside. I took as many pictures with them holding it as I could, but that was like our little science, like that's hail, it's part of precipitation. It's snow, hail, sleet, rain, that's all things that come from the sky, and it's all made out of water. And so that was like a little bit of excitement towards the endish of the day. I had a dad come in, he read. Right before that, he came in, he read, and then it started to rain or hail really hard. I wasn't the only one that went out. A second grade teacher was out, and then I think there were fifth grade students. She was out too. My kids were in the water. They were getting wet, but it's okay because it was science. It was for science. I was gonna leave. I just refreshed my page on Sign Up Genius. I already have 8 parents that signed up. It sends you an email when you use it, not sponsored. When you use it, it has them write their names, and then it sends you an email letting you know that someone's signed up for something. I use it, like I've used it for the past, I don't know how long, for conferences, like I said. So I already had 8 friends sign up to bring things, and it lets you know who signed up. They put their name, and then it can remind the parent if they put, I think it's an email they have to put, and it will send them a reminder a couple of days before it's due. That way they get reminded, you know, they'll remember. And then it shows up on your sign up, has names now, so I can't show you anymore, but it shows what they signed up for. And so it gives you a list of what's signed up, and then it also emails a reminder to the person that signed up saying, hey, you have a meeting at whatever day, or for this one, they'll say you signed up for M&Ms. But I already have 8 friends, 8 parents that signed up, so that's awesome. 8 less things I have to buy. Okay, for real, I'm going now. Hi, hello, it's Thursday. It is the 2nd of March. I just got in, it is 8:06. I am checking emails. I am checking Class Dojo, and I'm gonna get my things ready for Friday Junior. Looking at math, because that's what we're starting on, there are 29 lessons in this module. I thought there were like 26, 27, but we have about 3 more to go, which day is Thursday, and they're all going over the same thing, decomposing numbers to bring them back together, which is the hardest thing in the world for my first graders. So we're gonna go through it and we will test. I think I'm gonna test on Friday, tomorrow. Even though there's like 3 more lessons that go over the same thing, I'm gonna test on Friday, tomorrow, just to see how they did, and if they got it, I'm done. I have a parent coming in at 11:30. The school has sent out a note for Read Across America Week. You can do a craft, read a book, or bring a snack. This mom wanted to do all 3. Okay. I haven't done anything for the craft. She hasn't come in earlier to do anything for the craft, so I have the supplies. There's nothing prepped for it. So next year, I'm probably going to omit do the craft. Actually, we'll see how this goes. because the kids haven't done it, so I don't know how it's going to go. So if it doesn't go very well because it's taking too long, because nothing's prepped, I wasn't gonna prep it. The mom wanted to do this art project, but she didn't come in to get anything ready. I don't know if she was assuming I was gonna do it, but it was her art project she wanted to do. So if it doesn't go very well, I'm gonna omit that one, and next year parents can come read a book and bring a snack if they want. But if it goes fantastic, awesome, I'll leave it. But we'll see. So we have that at 11:30 after lunch, and that's probably gonna take a while because again, she's gonna read a book, she's going to do the craft with the kids. I'll be there too. And then she has a go-gurt, I think. She was gonna bring yogurt. So we're going to do that. After math, I usually have my time where I do my read out loud. So I think I'm just going to play Cat in the Hat. And so they'll do that and then we'll just move on. So we won't have a craft or anything that goes with the Cat in the Hat because we're gonna do that craft with the parents. So they're just gonna watch the Cat in the Hat. There's an animated one on YouTube, and then we're just gonna go on with the rest of our day. We are on Unit 4, Week 1. We are going to read the read the bat story today. We listened to it yesterday. The first day we just listened to it and we don't do anything else with it. So we're going to listen to the bat story and then we're going to do our sequence of events. It's how the bat got its wings. We're doing folk tales, and then we're going to do sequence of events with it. And then tomorrow we'll do our writing that goes with it. Also going with reading, we're going to do our, that's my plan. So I need to go ahead. I need to look for centers. I haven't done copies for centers. Yesterday, I was making copies of my story for our phonics today. So we're going over long A with vowel teams. And then I was just looking around for crafts for March, and everything has to do with leprechauns and rainbows. This one we're probably not going to do because it's folding, and folding is very hard for them. So I'm not going to do that one. This one was Shine Your Light books. And it's just words, but on the TPT, it showed a half piece of a paper plate and we painted a rainbow. And then they put I am in the middle at the bottom of the rainbow, and then they fill out, or they color and cut out these words and they put it on the plate. So that looked fun, and they're painting and they don't paint very often. And then I also have this one. This one comes with hearts. And so these are going to be on green paper. They're going to get 3 hearts, glue them together so that way, or fold them, glue them together. That way it's 3D, and then they glue those right here. So it's going to be like a 3D shamrock. So I think we're going to do this, and we're going to put it on the board to take place of the hearts. And then I have to find something else, maybe this, and that's going to take the place of the cups full of kindness. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and copy these, and we're going to do this Monday because tomorrow is going to be Green Eggs and Ham Day. I didn't do it yesterday because yesterday turned into Fly Guy Day. So tomorrow's going to be Green Eggs and Ham Day. So I have green eggs and ham stuff. So I'm going to get my copies. I need to do my center copies, and then I will see you later on today to see what we did. It's lunch. Math went really well. I have, let me see, 2 friends knew how to do it. We left it for a couple of days, came back. We had 8 friends, 8 students that knew how to do it. What do they know how to do, you're asking? They know how to deconstruct the number, add it in from the tens, and then add in the ones, and then they put it back together again. So it's addition with 2 digits. That's how they were learning how to do it. So deconstruct and then put it back together. 2 friends knew how to do it in the beginning. Then I had 8 friends, and today I had 14 friends. And so we did together, I gave them 1 problem. So when I say I have 14 friends, I had 14 of them that could do that 1 problem correctly, and they were awesome. So that means I have 10 friends that can't still do it. So tomorrow I'm gonna test, since it's whole group on Friday anyway, I'm gonna test. Those that pass the test tomorrow, we'll do something else with them, or I'll do something else with them instead of going, I might even go on to the next module. And then the friends that did not pass, they'll get 2 days of, 2 days, but I think Tuesday we're gonna have to skip because it's the 120th day of school. So 2 days of review instruction, trying to figure it out because there are 2 flex days and there are still 2 more lessons in the module. So we'll do those lessons and then I'll test them again. So on the 3rd day, I'll test them again. I'll just go through the 2 other lessons on the module that are just repeat of this module. And it even says that this is just extra practice for lesson 24, 25, 26. And so we're going to do that. So Monday, Tuesday, I'll go on to the next module and keep those kids together for the time. And then my other friends will continue with this module and then test again. And hopefully from those, let's just say 14 pass, from those 10, hopefully I get more. But from going from 2 to 8 to 10, no problem with me. We did that. We were doing our phonics. So we're going over vowel teams, A, I, A, Y. And so we were doing that. They had whiteboards. We were sounding out. We sounded out the words and then I put a line where the vowel team was supposed to be. And then they had to decide what vowel team it was, A, I, or A, Y. And then we have our book. So this is our book that we're doing for A-I, A-Y. It's week 1 from unit 2 and it's from Christy Menser. I didn't have unit 4, so I don't know what I used last year, but that's what they're going to do when, I'm going to say when they come back in, but I have a parent coming at 11:30. So I probably after the mom comes in at 11:30, we'll do that. So after she's finished, we'll do that. This is where I put everything. This isn't my original one. I gave that out for a new student, but I just put all my extras in here. So it has all their special books, we'll call them. So like President's Day stuff is in here, and it also has their decodables. So for next year, I think I'm going to, I don't want to give them 2, but they have their little like folders inside their cubbies. I think what we're going to do is keep the units together so that way they can reread those like daily, and then everything else will be put in the bag. So once we finish, let's say unit 3, they'll get all their unit 3 stuff and put it inside the bag. That way unit 3 things are there for them in their folder and they can just, you know, read those every single day. I think I'm going to do that for next year. So note to self. And then that way, like, this doesn't get lost in their baggie and then they can't find it anymore because they have to take everything else out and look for it. So I think what I'm going to do, keep them separate by unit and then put them all in here when we're done. So that way they have everything, but those are readily available. So after the mom's finished, we'll go back to phonics and then we'll read that. I'll give them time to read by themselves today from their packet and then, or their baggie, and then we'll get into groups. So that's what I have. And then I have PE. So the mom coming, phonics, groups. During groups, I'm going to test because report cards are next week, open next week. And so I'm going to do that. And then that will probably be my whole, and then PE. So that'll probably be my whole afternoon chunk. And then when we come back in, we'll do our reading and our BATS writing or research. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go eat my lunch and then I'll see you after school. It was interesting. I'll leave it at that. We had a lockdown. So that means that, and it was like a real one. That means my kids had to sit in the corner back here with a yard aide because she came to my room. Let me backtrack. It was going great. Parent came in. I kind of did the art lesson. Like she was like, okay. And so then I was like, okay, well, Passy's out. And so she helped do the art lesson, the lesson that she picked. So we did that. And it came out as good as it was gonna come out because there was no prep. Like I should have, or she should have, someone should have cut the papers for the tissue paper for the kids. That way they can just like crumple them a little bit and glue it down. I just had them rip them off. There was no template for them to follow. So they just free-handed it. So it came as good as it was gonna get. That was fine. After we did that, that was after lunch. They ate. She brought a little yogurt. She was good. Everything was great. It was recess time, or it was PE time. So we went out to PE. Awesome. Go touch your grade and come back. We have numbers on the fence. And so they started running. And as soon as they started running, they called a lockdown. So some of my kids were with me, some of my kids were booking it to the fence, and they were far, far away. Luckily, the yard aides were coming because they're in charge of like closing doors and stuff, I guess. And so they started coming. And so then I was standing there, and then they were looking at me, and I was yelling, first grade, come back. But they were all the way across the grass. So they were far, far away from me. And so I'm like standing there, first grade. And so then the kids are going, what's going on? And so it's like, we're going to the room. And so the yard aides were like, go to the room, we will get them. And so they started to walk that way. Thank you, yard aides. And so then I started getting my kids, and then there were big kids out there standing there like, where do we go? And they were trying to open the door. The door wasn't opening because we're not supposed to open the door. So I said, well, you're coming with me. So I had 8th graders in my room. And so the yard aides finished getting the kids to me and the 8th graders to me. And then the yard aide was like, well, I'm going to stay with you. And so then they all came in here. We had to stay there maybe 30 minutes. I don't really know. But they were as quiet as first graders can be. There were one girl talking. I was telling her to be quiet. The yard aide was telling her to be quiet. Her friends were telling her to be quiet, but she just was talking. So I did speak to her mom after, because, you know, they're 6. I told mom, they're 6 or 7. It's hard to understand, but when we're on lockdown and we have to sit and be quiet because something's going on, we need to be quiet. There was nothing around us. It was in the high school that was a hop, skip, and a jump away. So after that, I want to say the day was over. They were, what's going on, what's happening, and they were just, their little brains, they were done. So we went out for PE/recess, because we did miss our recess and we didn't have PE. So we went out and we stayed out there for about 20, 30 minutes, and I just let them be. And then we came back in and we did centers. And so that's what we got done. And I was fine. And I couldn't do anything else because they were done. They had to sit, lights off, in the corner, on the floor, with 3 big kids in the room that I had to account for, and a yard duty, everyone telling me to be quiet, and they were done. So that's what schools have to deal with. That's what first graders have to deal with. That's what we have to practice. And so luckily we practiced it and they know what to do. But still, it was hard for them. I had one kid start to cry, and their friends consoled them quietly as much as they could. And then after, when, you know, everyone left my room that didn't belong in my room, and we sat there, and I told them, I was in the room with you. I don't know anything that's going on. But they started with the what ifs, and it's like, I know nothing. And that, you know, I know nothing. I do know what's come up the rumor mill, but I know nothing. So that was our day. So my day of teaching ended at, I'll say 1, because from then on, it was just dealing with little minds that were like bad guys. And we're not gonna talk about that. You know, we're fine. Everyone in this room is fine. We're okay. So that was my day. So it was a really good day until that happened. And even from there, it was an okay day. Like, nothing happened to us, nothing happened to our school. My classroom was fine. Everyone left happy. And in my family, my husband's family, if you get scared, you have a little piece of sugar, and that's supposed to help your soul. And so I gave all my friends a candy for AR. I gave everyone a sweet tart, because that's just what my mother-in-law instilled in my husband, and what my husband and my mother-in-law instilled in me for my kids is, you know, you give them a piece of sugar. I'm going to say for their soul, but who knows what she'll tell me. But that's what I did. I gave everyone a piece of candy, and so they ate it, and we continued with what we could, which was just word work, writing, AR, and Lexia. So that was our day. That was the end of the day. We didn't do anything pretty much from then on. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm in charge of drinks this Friday. So this is a little handy nifty carrier one of the teachers bought that gets drinks with us. So it holds all of our drinks. So I need to make sure to post that in my little friend chat. We each take a Friday to get ourselves Friday yummies. So I'm gonna do that. We were watching at the end, like We only did 5 minutes of Cat in the Hat, the cartoon. That's from like the 70s, 80s, who knows when it's from, but it was on YouTube, so we started watching that. So since tomorrow we don't have sing-along because the system is broken, I told them we would watch that, and tomorrow is going to be green eggs and ham day since I didn't do it Wednesday because it was Fly Guy Day, and I didn't do it today. I have all my stuff. I'll show you to you tomorrow morning, but I'm spent. I'm done. It was eventful. I need to find out what happened in my city, my high school. That's right here. And everyone needs to be safe, and I'll see you later. It's lunchtime. It's Friday. Happy Friday. It's camping day at school for Read Across America. So I have stars and leaves to represent the outside. And I said, what's camping? And so I have a flannel on, and we brought blankets because we're going outside to read. From 1:30 to 2, we have SEL lesson from our school counselor. And then I think it's from 2 to 2:40, we have reading outside, but we're going to go out from 2 to 2:30, and then we'll come back in and clean up because I think 40 minutes outside will be too long for them. So 2 to 2:40 or 2:30, we'll go be outside reading. They brought their blankets to go outside camping. We're supposed to go out into the school. I think we're gonna come out to the quad because it's gonna be a little bit more contained. Second grade's gonna go there, so I think I'll go there also. So that's today. What did we do? There was no sing-along because we have a system that doesn't work. So we watched Cat in the Hat. It was on YouTube, so we watched that. That was our sing-along today. We started watching it yesterday, but didn't finish it. So we started watching that, and then we just went into our regular day. So we did our reading. I have quite a few test takers today, more than usual. Yes, it's always the same kids, but like I said, I'm not pushing it. I don't know where my list went. I'm not pushing it. I'll push it after we take our STAR test for reading. That gives me a ZPD. That's when I'll push it for those that have ZPDs. After reading, we did our math. Math day is Friday, whole group where we are testing. And as I told the kids, those that pass the test will move on to shapes. That's the next module. Those that don't pass the test, there's still 3 lessons left. They will do the 3 lessons. That's going over decomposing numbers, and then they'll test again on Thursday. So it'll probably be Friday because on Tuesday's our 120th day of school, so we're going to do 120 things, which reminds me I need to print my 120 things. So they'll probably test on Friday, so they'll have 3 extra days of instruction to see how they do on their test. So we did our test. I read it to them, so that's 2 of the word problems that they had to do, and then on the back I just gave them space to do 4 of the decomposing problems they had to do. For Zern, they had like, I'll say 9 decomposing problems, and then they had 4 word problems. So I just did this, and then that way on next Friday for the kids that have to do the reteaching, they'll have the other 2 problems, and then the other, I'll pick other 4 problems. That way it's still the same, but it's different. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I already told them on Monday, groupings are gonna change. For my friends that passed, we're gonna go on. For my friends that didn't pass, we're going to do some reteaching, and then hopefully they'll get it by next week. It's important. Why? Because second grade does it. So if they come in with this knowledge, second grade's gonna have an easier time progressing into the hundreds where we're just doing tens. That's what we've done. We have 2 more problems to review from the test. And so we're going to do that when we come in, and then I'll have them put their things away, and we'll probably do our calming, and then I'll show them the interactive read out loud, and then we'll make the hat. So I have to print that. I know I have it somewhere in there, but I haven't even looked for it. I'm pointing to I haven't even looked for it. So I'm gonna see if there's one on TPT that I can print really fast and then send it to the copy machine. I printed the next module. Here's the last module. So that's front, back. So this is module 4. I printed module 5, sent it to the copy room, and I'm pretty sure that was all my copies. So we'll see if I have any more copies left, and it's only the 3rd, which sucks. So we'll see. I can't ask them for more, but why do I have to ask for more copies when you're not giving me the teacher's edition, but it's online? Yeah, but I want a copy to look at. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to print Cat in the Hat. We're going to do the interactive read out loud. We'll get into, after we do that, we'll make our hats, and then we'll get into phonics. Our phonics is going to review the vowel team of AI and AY, and then we're going to do a phonics writing test. Yes, it's like a spelling test, but I call it a phonics writing test. I have like 2 hand fingerprints right there. So we're going to do our Cat in the Hat, centers, phonics. We're going to do our reading on, or writing on beavers. And so we're going to do that today using our facts that we got from Wednesday. And then we have PE, it's Free Play Friday. So I'll go supervise unstructured play. They just have to move. And then we have our SEL lesson at 1:30, and then we have reading outside. So my day's done. I got 5 things to do before we finish, before we get there. So that's my day. Hopefully everything else goes great. It's been a great week, a very fast week. Besides our hiccup yesterday with a lockdown, it's been fabulous. I have a really great class compared to last year. Last year was difficult. 2nd grade teachers are feeling it this year because they're just hard. And they they didn't really have a kindergarten friends. So kindergarten was kind of like part of those years where they weren't in school. So half of them maybe experienced kindergarten and the other half didn't. Last year was their first year in school, completely full-time all day, and they were in 1st grade. So it was hard last year. They're now 2nd graders. 2nd grade teachers are feeling it. Good luck to 3rd grade teachers. But this year's class, they're awesome. Kindergarten coming up, they said that they are just a normal kindergarten class. So that's awesome. And it's March, and I'm already talking about next year. So I'm going to do that. I need to print 120 things for Tuesday, and then I'll see you after school. I'm going to leave. I'm going to run out. It's 3 o'clock. I need to go. 120th day of school is Tuesday. I have parents, that bag right there, that's stuff for our snacks. I have a snack mix that they're gonna make. Counting 10 of each. That's what this is for. It says Fruit Loop necklace, but I'm not gonna do the necklace because 1, the holes are too small. 2, they have a hard time with their fine motor, some of them, and it takes too long for them to do it, and they ask for too much help. They get frustrated. So we're gonna make the snack. So I'm gonna cut this off, or I'm gonna write like snack mix on it or something, and they're just gonna put 10 of each inside one, and then that's what we're going to do. I already have parents who signed up for it. They're gonna make a crown. I'm gonna erase this part right here, and then just have them glue it on for their crown, and then they're going to do 120 exercises. So we're gonna do this. We're going to race to 120. They're gonna get 2, who is this by? JD's Rockin' Readers. So they're gonna get dice, they're going to roll, and then they are going to color in and color in until they get to 120. Student 2 does the same thing, and then the winner is the first one that can get to 120. So they're gonna go, and they're gonna have a little counter, and they're gonna go in 3, and then person 2 has to roll, and whoever gets to 120 first or passes 120 is the winner. 120 seconds. They're gonna guess how long it takes or how many they can do in 120 seconds, and then we will do them. So we're gonna do guesses to see predictions, and then they are going to do the exercises. That's exercising also. And then I'm gonna give them 120 seconds. I think what I'm gonna do is actually make this, no, I guess 120 seconds. 120 seconds, and then I write down however many words that they can write down in 120 seconds. So this is all for my 120th day of school. So I am going to, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to copy these and make like a little booklet out of them. I also want to get like a drawing paper for them to color during the day. So we're going to do our Tuesday. But then on Tuesday, we're gonna stop and we're going to do this. And then we'll stop and we'll do this one. So that's what we're going to do. I'm gonna see if there's something else, probably like a coloring one and a word search, probably gonna be what I'm gonna find for those. And then we're going to make a hat, and then we're going to make our snack. So I need to find like a topper to our baggies so that way we can put it all in the baggie, and they'll go home with that at the end of the day. So this is what I have for the 120th day of school. I also printed my module 5. So this is module 5. Again, probably went through all my paper, and I'm going to use our tests to decide the new groups. And so I have almost done all of them. So we're going to decide the new groups, and that's how I'm going to group them. The ones that didn't pass, they will be in one group going over, and then the ones that did pass are going to go on to module 5. I'm going to change everybody that is past the test to module 5 in Zern, so that way they are doing lesson 1 when we do lesson 1. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to head out. I have a high schooler to pick up, so I can't stay today. So it was a great week. It was great. I love my class. It's awesome. I'll see you later. I'll see you next time. Oh, let me show you what I made. I'll have to link this below, but this is for March. We went through our bingo board. So this is our March one. They had 4 points. So I told them they had to color all the pieces. It was wet when I started coloring, so it's not the best coloring job. But this is our next prize for behavior. And a lot of them didn't know what root beer floats are. So we're going to do root beer floats. I'll link this below. That's our whole class incentive chart, I guess. I'm also going to do individual. I have like a little punch cards I need to find, and it has a shamrock in it, and I print it on green paper, and then I'm going to punch holes in it for individual. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm going to do that also, so that way it's individual, and then whole class. They get whole class if we're all here. They'll get a section colored in. So I have like the marshmallows, the letters, and then I did the rainbow also that they have to color in, or I'll color in. So if they're all here, which I've only had perfect attendance 4 times, which is horrible. And so they'll get one for free. And then if they win student versus teacher, and then I'm also going to do clip punch cards for individuals, because a lot of times I have really great kids and then some other friends need to shape up. So I'm going to do that. I finished my candy finally. So I need to buy some new ones for AR tests. I have my tests that I need to finish grading so I can make my new groups, and I need to head out to pick up my high schooler. So I'm going to jam. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.